Converging against the shorelines of American republics from Cape Horn to the Arctic Circle, the seas of the Western Hemisphere know no national boundaries. So it is with the aspirations of Americans everywhere. Hopes spill like oncoming tides over frontiers, for everywhere there is the same thirst for freedom from dictatorship, from the bonds of economic and social injustice. Everywhere there is the desire to eliminate the age-old tyrannies of poverty, hunger, and ignorance. As President Rómulo Betancourt of Venezuela has said, there is underway an irresistible process which will provide in the backward and abandoned rural areas a land to work. Schools, doctors, and medicines. The awareness that these needs can only be met by a new kind of cooperative effort was the reason why, not long ago, a presidential plane came over the water to the capital city of Venezuela, Caracas. In his inauguration speech, the newly elected President of the United States, John F. Kennedy, had said, "To our sister republics south of the border, we offer a special pledge to convert our good words to good deeds in a new alliance for progress, to assist free men and free governments in casting off the chains of poverty." Now, that alliance is in the process of being forged as President and Mrs. Kennedy step on to Latin American soil. On this, President Kennedy's first visit to Latin America, his objective is to learn about the problems at first hand from distinguished leaders like President Betancourt, and at the same time to demonstrate the great interest and concern of the people he represents for their friends to the south. The welcome received by the visitor reflects the statement of President Betancourt. We receive as friends those who are our friends. Then by helicopter from Caracas to an agricultural region 50 miles west. His purpose? To see for himself the progress of a new land reform and rural housing program at the village of El Frio. Cutting of a brightly colored ribbon will symbolize the inauguration of the first Alliance for Progress enterprise in Venezuela, a $12 million project for low-cost, self-help rural housing. A plan of scope and grandeur, given infinite meaning for the man who receives the deed of his own future home. Then, a helicopter journey on to nearby La Marita for the visiting president who views the solution of the land problem as one of the keys to progress in Latin American development. At La Marita, President Kennedy officiates at a ceremony for distribution of land titles to 86 families, the first of thousands who will so benefit. He stands beside the Venezuelan president on a wooden platform in the middle of a field where farmers will own now the land they till. The land program has already settled 38,000 families on 3,800,000 acres of their own land. It is a program calling for work and dedication, says the visitor.
This is your program, the program of your progressive, far-seeing government, and the people of my country will share in this program by making available more loans to build rural homes and more credits to finance your crops. This program is at the heart of the Alianza para el Progreso, for no real progress is possible unless the benefits of increased prosperity are shared by the people themselves.
The President then invites Mrs. Kennedy to address the audience.
Me alegro haber podido acompañar a mi marido a Venezuela. La distinción y la importancia de vuestra cultura ya me eran conocidos. También me han impresionado vuestros esfuerzos por mejorar las condiciones de vida de vuestro pueblo. Yo sé que no hay esposa, ni madre, ni padre, ni familia en este continente que pueda conformarse hasta que los habitantes de todos nuestros pueblos tengan oportunidades de trabajo bien remunerados, pueden vivir decentemente y recibir enseñanza. Estas cosas deberían estar al alcance de todos y no limitarse a unos pocos afortunados.
Toward evening, the visitors leave for the return flight to Caracas. At Los Núñez, the presidential home, President and Mrs. Betancourt are hosts at a dinner and reception in honor of their North American friends. They have met nothing but warmth and cordiality everywhere they go in the homeland of the illustrious Simón Bolívar. And the next day, on the 131st anniversary of Bolívar's death, President Kennedy goes to the Pantheon and, on behalf of his country, places a wreath of tribute and respect on the tomb of the great liberator. It was Bolívar who first saw and predicted that someday the Western Hemisphere would be bound together by the closest of fraternal ties. That someday is now, the message of the American president, vigorously stressed everywhere he goes. For in his view, the inter-American system reflected in the Alliance for Progress represents not only a common goal, but a common vow to improve man's economic, social, and political well-being without sacrificing his liberties. Nor is he alone in this deeply held feeling. For in the 1960s, Americans, North and South, are more than good neighbors. They are allied in a partnership for building a better life for themselves and their children. Now, the president boards his plane for his next destination, Colombia, the gracious and heartwarming reception in Venezuela never to be forgotten.